Even more for a few drivers who could put themselves in the playoffs. Kyle Busch already in the playoffs with the win earlier this year at the Bristol Dirt Race, comfortably in, I might add, and Kyle Busch joins us right now. So Kyle, is a driver who's in, how is the world different than those guys who are not in tonight and the pressure-packed 400 miles that come in the regular season finale?
Yeah, it's definitely not the world in which you are favored at all coming into Daytona with the unknowns of this place, right? Like, you can go out there and just have chaos ensue, which I am positive that that's going to happen tonight. But certainly feels good to be on the inside and be locked in. Years ago, I was on the inside as well with, I think, being top 4 in points or something like that. Not having the win, I think it was 2020, but we were pretty secure in our point standings where we were with where we were at. So it felt good that way. So coming down here with the unknowns of a restrictor plate race, that's just got to be, a very uneasy feeling.
Kyle, you talk about the unknown. So for a lot of years before this year with the next-gen car, you raced a car and that was very similar for so many years. You understood everything about what you needed from it, what you could do with it. But now with the next-gen car, you've had a race here in February, then you had one at Talladega. What do you know about this now that's completely different and things that you've had to adjust to with this new car?
Basically how the car rides, how it feels in the draft, how the suck-up rate is, and what it feels like in the lane on the bottom of the track and the lane on the top of the track, going up the middle if you're leading or if you're in traffic. All those sorts of things kind of compile, and you think about that and you remember that and you make notes on all that, on how your car drives. And so, being able to get into the playoffs, obviously, come down to Daytona for the summer race, it being, at nighttime, but still ambient temperatures are typically higher. Track temperatures are probably higher than what you see in the springtime here, and so handling typically becomes a play. And with the drag on these cars, with as slow as they kind of seem to be, and the tire being wider, the grip level seems to be okay, that you don't necessarily fight some of those handling issues. Now, this is the first time we're seeing it at nighttime, so I can be completely wrong, but I would predict that it's going to be all out, foot to the floor, and hammer down. Let's go.
Kyle, everybody's talking about who's going to push who's going to help who. I don't want to talk about that because you the man. You go out here and whoop these boys. I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you race up front? Do you stay in the back? I mean, what do you do? We're trying to figure it out, and we can't come up with an answer.
I don't know. I don't know. People have asked me all week long, like, hey, what's your plan? What you going to do? You going to go up front? You going to run hard and all that sort of stuff? And I'm like, well, you want to run up front because you want to show the guys up front that are up front that you can run up front and your car is fast and you can make moves and you've got confidence in your stuff and all that. But hell, when it comes down to the end of the race, ain't none of those guys going to be there because they're going to crash out anyway. So you've got a whole new group of guys that are going to be there at the front that you got to deal with in order to go race for a win. So who knows?
Kyle, it's no secret you are currently a free agent. This is a process you haven't been through in a long time, 15 years as a matter of fact. So how tough, and you've been very open and honest in the media, how tough has this process been for you personally to go through?
It has been tough. It's definitely something that no driver ever looks forward to, but there are a lot of drivers over the years that do go through the free agency stuff. They move from team to team or what have you, and so obviously ever since the very beginning of all these conversations, the intent was to always stay at Joe Gibbs Racing and be in the 18 car. So still working through all the sorts of stuff. I mean, there's just so many different opportunities out there. Yes, I do have to look on the outside and see what is out there in order to see if there's another place to land, but also, we're still with the sponsorship search and trying to find that sort of stuff and looking for some things to keep the 18 play intact.
Real quick, do you have a timeline of when you expect this to be wrapped up?
Yesterday.
I know yesterday, but you got to project forward.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Trust me, I know. Playoffs are coming up too, so you don't want to really go into the playoffs with all this stuff lingering, and the anticipation out there is really high. Trust me, I hear it from a lot of folk. But I'd love to tell you a timeline. I'd love to have it tied up, this week or the next week or whatever. But decisions definitely have to start falling into place. That's for sure. I know the urgency. Trust me, I'm seeing it. I'm feeling it. I'm wanting it. I want to be settled, and I want to be where I need to be.
I'm sure you want to get it all behind you before the playoffs start next week. So, hey, bud, appreciate your time. We'll see you hopefully later tonight.
Absolutely.
Racing here at Daytona. That's the plan. There's one of your fans right there hanging out with
He's not my fan. No. He's a Busch Light fan, though.
That's
so
a good
he
point.
loves the name. I get it.
That's a good point. But he's at least willing to stand with you or the virtual.
Knows who to hang out with. Right.
Take a selfie.
Yeah.
Take a selfie.
Exactly. That's good stuff. All right. Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate your time. So let's talk about Kyle. And he makes a terrific point, DJ.